Hello and welcome to another episode with the Nairobi Hospital. Today we'll be discussing about breastfeeding, and taking us through that discussion is
Veronica Zebedee, a senior nurse at the Nairobi Hospital Maternity and Nursery. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Senior Nurse Zebedee. Breastfeeding Week is observed in the first week of August. You could take us through the importance of breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding has so many benefits to the baby and to the mother. Starting with the benefits to the mother. Mothers who exclusively breastfeed, you find that it helps them to shed their weight. Mothers who breastfeed exclusively, it helps them to have fewer chances of getting bleeding tendencies, because the hormones that releases the milk is the same hormones that work on the uterus, and it helps them to, it helps the uterus to contract, so less bleeding. And mothers who breastfeed, they tend to have lesser chances of getting postnatal depressions. Benefits to the babies. Babies who are being breastfed, you find that they have lesser chances of, they develop immunity, because the milk has antibodies that protects our babies from getting other infections. You'll rarely have, those babies will have lesser opportunities, lesser chances of getting diarrheal diseases, ear, nose and throat infections. You don't want a mother who will be coming to the hospital now and then looking for treatment because of the baby did not acquire the immunity from the breast milk. The milk has component in it that makes our babies become leaner. Chances of these babies become obese are very less. So in future they are not going to get problems like obesity, those chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension. And breast milk, that act of the baby sucking, as they suck, they exercise their jaws. As they exercise their jaws, even speech becomes easier for them to start pronouncing their words. Another benefits of breastfeeding, you bond with your baby and you learn your baby. And
what of when a mother has a low milk production? What are some of the things that they should do to boost their production of milk?
When the mother has reached term pregnancy and is ready to deliver, and she delivers, the body is already set to receive this baby, and the breastfeeding is already set. Initial time, you'll have little colostrum, little milk, but that does not mean that you're not going to get milk. Things that you're supposed to put in place to help you trigger more milk to come is by the act of you latching your baby on the breast. The more time you put your baby on the breast, the more time you stimulate the hormones in the brain to trigger more milk to come. Then another thing is the duration. How long do you allow your baby to be on the breast? I expect you to have your baby on the breast for a prolonged period of time. Another thing, relax, because a stressed brain will not be able to stimulate milk to come. You need to relax. Know that nature is going to take its role. Then another thing, take fluids in plenty. When you take fluids in plenty, that again will stimulate milk to come. Yes.
So for how long should a child breastfeed, let's say one breast?
For one breast, initial time, especially for the first 2 to 3 days, it is not abnormal for the baby to stay on the breast even for 30 minutes, 45 minutes or 1 hour. It's very, very normal. And after every 2 to 3 hours, they need to be put on the breast. Every 2 to 3 hours, they need to be put on the breast. Yes. But by the time you reach on the 3rd, 4th day, the milk is now in plenty. You have already stimulated. The milk is now in plenty. The baby can stay on the breast for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, the baby settles to sleep. The baby is already satisfied. Yes.
I would like you to take us through, or rather demonstrate, the different breastfeeding techniques that are there, that are healthy and safe for both the mother and the child, especially for new mothers who have gotten their new babies. Most of them face the challenges in terms of proper placing of their child during breastfeeding.
Okay, we have different methods of latching our babies on the breast. I will demonstrate. One of it is what we call cradle position. If you can buy a breastfeeding pillow. You can improvise to use a normal pillow like this. Then get your baby. When you are getting your baby, we have what we call cradle position, where you place, let the time of the baby be to the time of the mother, support the neck and the back and the bottom. It's you to put your baby as near possible to the breast. We have what we call cross cradle position. Especially this one is used for babies who are premature or small babies, where you place your baby, you hold your baby on with one hand, the head, the neck, and the bottom, you hold it, and then with the hand that is next to the breast that you're going to breastfeed, you latch your baby with it. That is one way. It's called cross cradle position. We have what we call football position, which is used. It is comfortable for mothers who have had cesarean, mothers who have had twins, whereby the legs and the legs of the baby is outside. For mothers, like especially for twins, you place your baby in this position so that you can be able to put your baby as near possible to the breast as you can. This is what we call under armpit position or football position. Then we have another method whereby a mother can lie down, and then you can be able to do it to breastfeed your baby as you lie down. That is another method of breastfeeding. So you can choose whichever type of a method that's convenient for you. Though for first-time mothers, I don't like them to use the lying position because sometimes you'll find that maybe they can suffocate the baby, they can sleep, the baby can slide from the nipple, from the right place, from the areola. They can slide and latch on the nipple, then they end up getting cracked nipples. Yes.
Wow, that is very interesting. Let's now talk about pain and discomfort during breastfeeding. What are some of the situations that are occasioned in this state?
Okay, in ideal case, breastfeeding should not be painful. When you are just latching the baby on the breast, should not be painful. For first-time mothers, the first few days of breastfeeding, you'll find some bit of funny sensation or discomfort, which should be able to go. We find that sometimes when you are breastfeeding, the hormones that releases the milk is the same hormones that works on your uterus. So chances of you getting some cramps like pain is expected. But with the time, it should be able to go. We expect by the end of 1 week, that pain should have gone.
And in regards to the breast-related complications, you've mentioned about the breast-related complications, one of them being the cracked nipples, and then we also have mastitis. How should mothers handle such situations?
Most of the time, for mothers to get cracked nipples or sore nipples, it is maybe purely because of poor latching technique. Purely because of poor latching technique. If you latch your baby, ensure the baby latches above the nipple, on the black area that is called areola. That is the best part.
Okay.
If you find your baby has latched on the nipple, please disconnect the latch because chances of you getting sore nipples or cracked nipples are high. Another thing is how do you remove your baby on the breast? The baby is sucking. The way you remove your baby very fast on the breast without using the right methods of maybe pressing the chin to disconnect the latch, or maybe using a clean small finger to insert in the baby's mouth to disconnect the latch. You just remove the baby abruptly from the breast, it's going to lead to cracked nipples. So most of the time I encourage my mothers, ensure your baby latches up to the black area of your nipple that's called areola. That is okay. You won't get cracked nipples, you won't get sore nipples.
You mentioned some techniques that one can use, especially when they're for a mother who has cracked nipples.
You have gotten the cracked nipples, we appreciate that's a challenge. What are we supposed to do? You can express the breast milk, apply it on the nipple. It gives the nipple time to heal. You can use what we call nipple shields. Place it on top of the nipple, so the baby latches on top of that nipple shield. It will give the nipple time to do what? To heal. Okay? Okay. And then most of the time when you find that maybe one breast is cracked more than the other, you will use the breast that is not cracked, so that you give this other breast time to heal. We expect after 24 hours of giving that breast time to heal, there should be less pain. Healing should have started taking place because the breast, it has a high supply of blood, so healing should be faster.
Okay. On breast-related complications, we do have the cracked nipples, we do have mastitis. What are some of the measures that mothers can take to prevent such situations?
Okay, breast-related complications is something that can be prevented and is something that can occur. Some of the problems that we find, sore nipples, cracked nipples. Then you find our mothers can get engorged breasts. Others, and you see problem graduate from one problem to another if you don't take precautionary measures. Then you will find that from engorged breast, you are likely to get what? Either mastitis, blocked ducts, breast abscess. And some of these things, what are the causes? When you don't breastfeed your baby, you have full breast and you don't breastfeed your baby, or you use poor latching technique, you are breastfeeding your baby on the nipple alone, that again, the breasts are not being emptied. Or you want to do what? To put specific times to breastfeed your baby. And your breast, there is more milk that is being formed, less that is coming out. You are likely to get these complications. And what we advise our mothers, you do what? Express. If you breastfeed your baby first, breastfeed. If you find your baby is full and your breasts are still full, you can express the milk. You can express that milk manually. You can express that milk by use of a breast pump, manual pump, or by use of an electric pump. And that milk, you're not going to discard it. We can store it. We can store it. Another thing, we can be able to use bras. Tight bras, again, are associated with the causes of these complications. So you are allowed to use a bra that is maybe 2 sizes larger than your normal size, so that you don't get such problems.
Okay.
On the issue of breast milk, milk is very precious. I don't like discarding the milk. Milk that if you find you have a lot of milk, I will advise you, express that milk so long as you maintain high standard of cleanliness, your equipments are very well sterilized, express the milk, put them in the bottles or in the disposable milk bags, write the name and the date, put it in the freezer. Milk that has been kept in the freezer, it can stay there up to 6 months. It is still safe. And when you are coming now to use that milk, use fast in, fast out method. Put your milk, remove your milk, put it in the room air, let it thaw. And then get a container with hot water, immerse your container with milk there, let it warm, and you can feed your baby. Once you have removed the milk in the freezer, you can put it in the normal fridge temperature, and anytime the baby wakes up, just warm that milk and feed the baby. Within 24 hours, that milk should have been used. After that, you need to discard the rest.
How should somebody warm a baby's milk? Because I hear these, it's also bad, it's not advised to boil or microwave.
Yes, you are not supposed to microwave because you tend to destroy the nutrients. And that's why we advise you get a container with hot water, then dip your bottle there that has the milk, let it warm. Then before you feed your baby that milk, please test to ensure it is good temperature, you don't burn your baby. You test that milk on the top of the back of your hand, so that you don't do what? You don't burn your baby.
Okay. Any tips on healthy breastfeeding, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic? We have very many mothers who are maybe curious to know, am I exposing my child? Am I by that close proximity with my child during breastfeeding? What are the measures that I should take to prevent any outcome of a transmission? At
the moment, it's recommended that when maybe a mother is COVID positive, and you have delivered a baby who is a baby, and you are wondering, should I leave my baby? Should I isolate myself with the baby? No, you should not isolate your baby. Unless the baby has a problem that the baby needs to be separated from you. But if the baby is a healthy baby, you are allowed, so long as you wash your hands, put on a mask, you are allowed to do what? To breastfeed your baby, you are allowed to bond with your baby. Yes.
So there's no need to fear?
There is no need to fear.
Okay.
There is no need to
so
fear.
There's also no transmission from, if you're a COVID positive mother, then there's no transmission from you to the baby that you're breastfeeding.
Yes, yes.
Okay. You do have classes that you train young mothers on best breastfeeding practices?
Oh yes, we do.
At the Nairobi Hospital?
We do have breastfeeding classes. We are here to empower our mothers. We are here to show them that there is need for us to breastfeed our babies, importance of breastfeeding, how to change our babies, how to care for the cord. We don't want our babies to come back with complications. So we have those classes for our mothers who have already delivered and they are within the hospital. You are allowed to attend them. Every alternate days, we do it at 10 a.m. to around 11 a.m.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Senior Nurse Zebedee, for that insightful discussion on breastfeeding. Now, if you have got any questions, you can post them on the comment section below or send an email on hosp@nbihosp.org or engage our professionals using our social media platforms. Until next time, I'm Mothoni Wabero.